Hi, Movie Explainer here. Today we are going to recap a thriller drama movie that recounts the true story of a girl who was abducted and abused for 26 hours by a serial killer. To learn more about the movie, watch the video until the end. The movie begins with Lisa McVey, a 17-year-old girl working at a 24-hour donut shop. Lisa is a bright and cheerful employee at her workplace, where customers adore her. However, the pain she hides behind her smile is insane. Lisa lives in Tampa Bay, Florida, with her grandmother, Diane, and Diane's boyfriend, Morris. Sadly, Lisa's life is marked by trauma, as Morris regularly abuses her, and Diane chooses to look away from this painful reality. Although Lisa is living with her grandma and is enduring Morris's inappropriate behavior, it doesn't mean she lacks a mother. But the harsh reality is that her mother isn't the one every kid wants. Instead, she insists that Lisa stay with her grandma and follow her wishes, even if it means doing things she's uncomfortable with. Lisa also has a younger sister named Lori, and the two are really close to each other. Lori expresses a desire to visit her, but Lisa is determined to shield her from Morris's influence. After work, Lisa often seeks solace by a tranquil lakeside to let her emotions out. This quiet location becomes her only refuge. One day, Lisa makes up her mind to commit suicide because she is fed up with getting abused by Morris. After her shift, she bids farewell to her boss and leaves, riding her bicycle. During her journey, she notices a car tailing her, but she tries to ignore it. However, at a quiet location, the man attacks Lisa and coerces her into his car at gunpoint. He subjects her to horrifying experiences and threats, promising to release her if she complies with his demands. He misuses Lisa for half an hour, and once his sinister act is done, he abducts Lisa, blindfolds her, and transports her to his apartment. Since Lisa is kept blindfolded, it's impossible for her to know where her captor is taking her. Her captor forces her into a bath and continues his cruel actions. The next day, Lisa's grandma, Diane, reports her as missing. However, deep down, Diane entertains the notion that Lisa may have fled after some shady dealings with her boss. The police visited the donut shop where Lisa worked. The owner, unaware of her whereabouts, mentions that Lisa's parting words had an unusual tone, filled with despair, leading him to believe she might have taken her own life. The police then paid a visit to Lisa's mother's house, relaying the news of her disappearance. Her mom casually replies that Lisa may have gone somewhere and will return on her own. However, Lori, Lisa's sister, insists that something is wrong, as Lisa never leaves without telling her. Elsewhere, Lisa remains bound and blindfolded, enduring the man's relentless assaults. When she has no choice left, she decides to connect with her captor and flee once the right moment comes. She realizes that her captor isn't just mistreating her. He has done this with many other girls as well and considers women mere toys for pleasure. Thanks to her experiences with Morris, Lisa knows how to handle this kind of man. She pretends to like him, saying she's interested and will do whatever he wants. Later, when she's allowed to use the bathroom, she locks the door and leaves her fingerprints as evidence. That night, Lisa remembers the time she asked her mom to let her live with them and told her about Morris's action. But her mom didn't seem to care and ordered Lisa to do whatever Morris and Diane wanted. While her captor is distracted, Lisa manages to leave some of her hair under his bed, continuing her act by saying sweet things and pretending to be his girlfriend. Later that night, the captor watches the news and discovers that the police are frantically searching for Lisa. He informs Lisa that he intends to dispose of her, fearing the police are closing in. He drags her inside the car and starts driving. Lisa cuts her finger and leaves a blood spot on her seat as another piece of evidence. He takes her to a remote location, planning to end her life. But something changes. Lisa's desperate pleas and cries for mercy touch the man's heart, leading him to change his mind and decide not to kill her. He instructs her not to remove her blindfold for 5 minutes. As he starts his vehicle and pulls away, Lisa can't resist the opportunity and removes her blindfold, running for her life. Her captor watches through the rearview mirror, makes a U-turn, and starts chasing her. Fortunately, Lisa manages to reach her grandma's house. However, her reunion with Morris is anything but pleasant. Lisa poured her heart out to her grandmother, laying bare the horrifying details of her abduction. However, her grandma and Morris dismissed her story as a mere fabrication. Diane dials the police to let them know that Lisa has returned home safe and sound. However, the police say that since she is a minor and was missing for 2 days, they have to bring her down to the station for questioning. Morris becomes angry hearing that the police are coming to pick up Lisa, and he is afraid that Lisa will tell them about him as well. After a while, the cop arrives and takes Lisa to the police station for interrogation. Lisa didn't hold back, giving the officers a vivid account of her traumatic experience. However, the officers she confided in didn't believe her. Later, 2 lady detectives took over the case and interviewed Lisa about the incident. To their amazement, Lisa provided an astounding level of detail and description. This kind of clarity surprised the detectives because most victims struggle to recall events with such precision. They began to suspect that Lisa might be making up this story to take revenge from someone. Since no one believes Lisa, the department decides to hand over this case to Senior Sergeant Larry, who is busy in a meeting with other officers. They are grappling with a complex case involving the deaths of several women over the past few months who were subjected to sexual assault before meeting their tragic ends. The police have no leads or suspects and are clueless. After the meeting, Larry is informed about Lisa and her case, and he right away assumes that Lisa's captor might be the psychopath killer they were looking for. He takes on the task of speaking with Lisa to determine the truth of her claims. He shares a photo of his daughter, who is the same age as Lisa, and reveals his specialization in sex crimes. Larry says that Lisa is like his daughter and promises to do everything in his power to bring her captor to justice. Touched by his empathy and sincerity, Lisa opened up once again, reiterating her story and even providing a vivid description of her abductor's face. Lisa also tells Larry how Morris is mistreating her on a daily basis. Upon learning the full extent of Lisa's ordeal, Larry gives orders to his squad to take Morris into custody. He also invites Lisa to leave her grandma's home and live with his colleague. Lisa packs her belongings, and with tears in her eyes, she asks her grandmother why she hasn't protected her from her sick boyfriend. Her grandmother remains silent, leaving Lisa with a heavy heart. Under the cover of night, Lisa is roused from her slumber by the distant hum of a car engine. Anxious, she peers out the window and spots her captor emerging from the car, approaching the house. Fear surges within her, and she can't help but scream, her cries shattering the quietude of the night. The landlady, alerted by Lisa's distress, rushes to her side to investigate the source of her terror. However, much to their surprise, there's no one to be found outside. It becomes evident that the traumatic ordeal has taken a toll on Lisa's mental state. The landlady offers her reassurance and promises to arrange psychiatric support to help Lisa cope with the psychological trauma. With newfound determination, Lisa returns to the police station the following day. She seeks out Sergeant Larry to convey her gratitude. Lisa proceeds to confide in Larry, revealing that her captor confessed to her, divulging his crimes against other women. Larry's suspicions deepen, and he begins to believe that Lisa's abductor might be the elusive serial killer they've been hunting. However, doubt and skepticism fester among Larry's colleagues, as they consider Lisa's account to be a fabricated story. After all, why would an abductor release their victim unharmed? Notwithstanding the skepticism of his fellow officers, Larry remains unwavering in his conviction that Lisa is telling the truth. He decides to send Lisa's clothes for forensic testing, hoping that it might yield valuable evidence. In a compassionate gesture, Larry, accompanied by his daughter, invites Lisa to join them for dinner, striving to make her feel comfortable and offering her a glimpse of support and friendship during this trying time. The following morning, a breakthrough occurs in the case. Larry receives the results of the forensic analysis on Lisa's clothes, revealing that they bear the same DNA samples found on other victims. In an effort to aid the investigation further, Larry asks Lisa to collaborate with a police sketch artist, creating a detailed composite sketch of her abductor. As soon as the sketch is ready, police launch a widespread search operation. Larry takes Lisa to her kidnapping spot and requests that she remember the route and locate her captor's apartment. At first, Lisa fails, but then closes her eyes and starts recalling that night, highlighting the turns the man made during her harrowing ordeal. After a concerted effort, Lisa successfully identifies the spot where the man abandoned her that fateful night. With this new lead, the police swiftly mobilize, combing the vicinity in search of clues. In the meantime, another officer makes a promising discovery when he spots a car resembling the one Lisa had described as the abductor's. Although there isn't enough evidence to make an arrest, the detective discreetly takes a photograph of the man with his car. Later, that photo, along with other photos, is shown to Lisa, and she immediately identifies him as her attacker. This positive identification led to the swift arrest of the man outside a movie theater. Moreover, the bloodstain left by Lisa is also found on the car's seat, providing further proof of his guilt. The man now realizes that his own undoing was his decision to release Lisa, which ultimately led to his capture. He introduces himself as Bobby Joe Long and admits being the serial killer the police were looking for. In the meantime, Larry and his squad execute a search operation at his apartment. Inside, they find all the evidence left by Lisa. The police officers shower Lisa with praise for her astounding bravery, causing her to shed tears of joy. Larry even offers her a place in his home, but she opts to move in with her aunt. As she bids farewell to Larry, she promises him that she, too, like him, will become a sheriff. While living at her aunt's home, Lisa writes to her mother, humbly acknowledging her own misjudgment that every mom cares for her kids. And this is where the movie ends. But since it's a real story documented on the life of Lisa McVey, at the end, we catch a glimpse of the real Lisa McVey, who has grown into a sheriff's deputy with a specialization in sex crimes and is on a mission to protect young girls from human-like animals. Thanks for hanging in there till the end. Did we hit the bullseye or fall short? Give that like button some love, subscribe to Movie Explainer, and share your movie pick for our next recap in the comments section.